Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Employment Committee meeting. I'm Councillor Hema Yellapragada, Vice Chair of the committee. Please be aware that this meeting is being live streamed to the Council's YouTube channel. Details of how the recordings are being stored and how long they are retained for are available via Council's website. Please also note that as part of this Council's commitment to reducing the use of paper, electronic devices may be used by councillors and officers throughout the meeting. In terms of officers present, we have with us this evening, to my left, Lola Burrell, Committee Services Officer, and to my right, I have Tracy Dolphin, Head of People and Communications, and also Eileen Priestley, HR and Payroll Manager. And we have Tarandeep Mahal, HR Business Partner, and Philippa Bean, HR and Payroll Support Advisor, and also Daisy Killen, Building Surveyor. Thank you. And moving on to emergency procedure, I'm assuming everyone is familiar with emergency procedure here. Would you like to read that one out, or you're okay? You're all familiar. Yep, I'll move on. Agenda item 1, apologies and substitutes. We have received apologies from Councillors Collins, Hales and Margrave. And any other members? Any other apologies, please? Yes.
Councillor Melrose,
Thank
please.
you. Yes. Any other? That's okay. Declarations of interest. We are moving on to the next item, which is declarations of interest. Members, are there any declarations of interest you wish to make? No. Thank you. Minutes of the meetings held on 24th September are to be approved. Do we have any proposer? Thank you. And do we have a seconder, please? Thank you. Thanks, Councillor Gorman. And vote of approval? Everyone's okay. Thank you. Now, the next item is the Corporate Apprenticeship Programme update. Can I ask Officer Tracy Dolphin to introduce the report, please?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Yes, this report sets out the annual update to Employment Committee of the apprenticeship scheme and how it has been operating within the council. My first note is a positive one, and that's to recognise those people in this room, Tarandeep, Daisy, Philippa, Elaine, amongst the many other officers, media, communications within the council that support this scheme, as well as the managers that take on our apprentices and the apprentices themselves. And I think it's important to note from this committee the recognition and the commitments that the council have, as well as the members, to supporting the scheme going forward. It's a very unique scheme that Warwick District Council have, and one that we're very, very proud of. You can see in the report, I'll just pick up on some of the numbers on 1.13, just to note where it says 34 apprentices there, to note that does not include the 2 that left before completing their apprenticeship, so that's not been included in the figures. That's why it's 34, not 36 on that particular point. And it's to highlight that since its launch in 2018, 15 out of the 34 have secured employment within the council itself. As we've reported back to this council numerous times, the feedback we get from our apprentices, from managers, and certainly those involved in the scheme is all very positive. We use the funds every year. There's never anything left. Which is good to know, and equally the apprenticeship levy for training is equally being utilised within the council, as you can see from some of the updates within here as well. We also go out to our schools and colleges to promote ourselves, and we'll come on to that a little bit later. So it is very much a unified approach about how we look at the scheme and grow our own as part of the recruitment, remuneration and recruitment project. So I will leave it there for questions. Thank you.
As you will have seen, the members' trades unions joint consultation and safety panel supported the recommendations in the report, expressed support for the apprenticeship programme and hoped that the programme would continue through LGR, local government reorganisation. Any speakers, please? Yes.
It would be awful if none of us spoke. First of all, I'm very much in favour of this, and I have met some of the trainees, and I've also met students out on work experience who have been very positive about the work experience they're given. I would just like to ask, I raised this about agile working actually at the last meeting. I assume when the apprentices are appointed, they have an induction period and then they get on with their work. And I appreciate that there will be times when they need to, well, they may work at home because they've got a particular project to do. But I would like to think that they have the advantage of being in amongst other people and, yes, to learn from other people and being in a workplace for quite a bit of their time. I wouldn't like to think that apprentices spend a lot of their time by themselves just working on things. Would I be right in saying that they are encouraged to be in with others?
Yes. Apologies. Thank you, Councillor Syson. Yes, is the answer to the question. It's very much down onto the service area, and I might pass this one over to Daisy in a minute because she knows our apprentices very, very well. Daisy is our apprenticeship ambassador and works really closely with our apprentices because Daisy started herself as an apprentice, so it works really well. So, Daisy, do you want to come in on that one a little bit because you know the different schemes that we have with the different ones? Thank you.
Yeah, so it does vary depending on the role. So we have some more hands-on apprenticeships, like Green Spaces. We have a brand new horticultural apprentice. So they're going out with our ID Verdi contractor. So they are very hands-on, working with people. We have some customer services apprentices. So they're either based in the pump rooms or in Saltisford. So they're working with the team, working with each other. There's quite a few of them, so they're able to collaborate that way. I know some of the other apprentices do prefer to work from home. I think it just depends on the type of the apprenticeship, what level, and also how long they've been an apprentice for. I do think I've noticed it's they do tend to come into the office a bit more when they first start, and then kind of as they get used to the role and they've been here a while, then they do start to make the most of working from home. So it varies, and I think it also depends on what the managers do. So I know managers that come in every day will obviously encourage their apprentice to come in every day, and managers that tend to work more from home are probably a bit more on that side. But it's definitely, I see apprentices almost every single day in the office. So it is nice to see, and it's nice to see them all working together as well. And obviously they get to see me, and then if they've got any problems, then they can always come to me as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have my own question, if I may ask. Oh, are there more questions? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was just going to ask how much unspent levy funds we have from last year that we...
Yes, it's within the report. We aim to spend as much as possible of the levy. Last year we contributed nearly 80,000 and we spent 62, so we were 18. It's one of the few times we try to spend as much as possible. But obviously it's subject to demand and people wanting to do the training. So we were £18,000 short. We're very sad to see that the level 7 apprenticeship training is being withdrawn. This year I think we've started at 4 people on that level, and that's a very expensive course which we can tap in and use the funds to cover but that won't be an option going forward.
Thank you. Councillor Syson.
Thank you. That's reminded me of another question, but I had another one as well. I was just interested that when you listed all the training being done, against monitoring officer, it was a level 7 RTPI. And I'm thinking, planning, town planning? I don't know the page at this moment. It was fairly...
We'll check that one, Councillor Syson, and come back to you if that's okay
Yeah,
then.
it's not really important. Am I allowed my other question? Well, comment. Chairman?
Yes, please, sorry.
Just to say, I did find the table on page 4 very interesting. Not so much from what it told me about apprentices, but because of what it told me about the increase in the number of people we employ. Is that full-time equivalents there or individuals?
Sorry, Councillor Syson, can I just ask which paragraph what you're referring
Sorry,
to?
on page 4, there's a table there. Sorry, I'm looking at my bit of it, which is reporting percentages. And right at the bottom, it talks about a head count. Is that a full-time head count or is it an individual head count?
That's,
I believe it's headcount, it's not FTE.
Ah, that's really helpful. Because
Okay,
otherwise...
we'll clarify that.
Yes, because otherwise it looked as if the numbers, even the head count, has increased dramatically over the years. I mean, even this last year, from 495 to 531, and back in 1718, it was 476. So that is a big increase, which I hadn't quite taken on board before. But thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Well, if I may ask, what steps are being taken to ensure apprentices are coming from underrepresented backgrounds? How are we, what is our policy? How are we, yes, our apprenticeships are open to everyone equally. However, how are we actually tapping into these groups who are underrepresented?
So what I would say from the point of view of the way the apprenticeship recruitment works is we would use our normal ways of recruitment advertising, going out to wherever we can, effectively using LinkedIn, using other areas. What we do have though, and I might pass over to my colleague in a moment, is we also try and tap into the local communities. So going to colleges, going to schools, going to a variety of different schools, and using our connections with communities to talk to younger people, although we do take on mature students as well, is a way of actually trying to look at how we can get people to apply for these types of positions. And very much what Daisy said, and you can see from the different types of apprentices that we do, the aim is then that by representing different service areas allows us to tap into effectively the skill sets that different people might want to look at. So,
it's good to hear we are going into local schools and colleges. However, are we also contacting different communities locally to get more people from underrepresented groups like community leaders and different other communities?
we don't specifically target communities or leaders because our recruitment and profile effectively is using the different methods that we have. That tends to be a good reach, and we try and target effectively through different social media and people also within the council using their own networks. So anybody on LinkedIn, as an example, can push out the apprentice programme and the different apprentice apprentices that we have on offer at the time. So we tend to try and use different methods rather than just targeting one particular one. Thank you.
Thanks. So how many are coming from Warwick and Leamington and Warwick District as a whole? And how many are coming from outside of Warwick District Council? Like, but do you have any comparison figures between how many apprentices are actually local and ones who are coming from outside?
I haven't got that to hand because that's sort of the type of detail that goes into the realms of locations, etc. So no, I haven't got that detail.
No,
to hand.
that's fine.
Something we can
Thanks.
come back to.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah, not a problem. Yeah, thanks. Any other questions, please? Yes, Councillor Davids.
Thank you. Thought I'd better ask a question. Again, as with Councillor Syson, table 2, if I've understood this correctly, that means there are about 9 or 10 apprentices still on our payroll. Is that right? So that's out from 34 or something like that. So the question is that a good level of retention or is it a high churn compared to the rest of the staff?
Over to you.
I would consider that really positive, but I'm going to pass over to Elaine on this one.
Okay, so yes, the apprenticeships who are with us, they're not guaranteed a job at the end. So the retention, naturally, you would not expect to be as high. I think if you look at the figures, 11 out of the 34 have left us, 8 are still studying, and 15 secured alternative employment. So given that they were not guaranteed a job and they've had to apply and be allocated a role on merit, we're very pleased with those figures.
Any other speakers, please? Can someone propose? Thank you. Any seconder, please? Thank you. Vote to approve? Thank you. The next item is Chief Officer Recruitment. Can I request Tracy Dolphin to introduce the report, please?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this report sets out the proposals for the recruitment to the post of Strategic Director within Warwick District Council as per the Chief Officer recruitment process. This committee is recommended to appoint a subcommittee of 5 councillors made up as in recommendation number 1 to attend a shortlisting panel on the 25th of the 11th and a final interview subject to shortlisting on the 3rd of the 12th. The same councillors, the same members need to be attending both panels and to note that they are in person. I have had some nominations already come forward, but this is just to secure and agree those nominations for those panels this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. As you will have seen, the Members' Trades Union Joint Consultation and Safety Panel agreed with the recommendations in the report. Any speakers, please? Yes, Councillor Syson.
It's just a comment from an ignorant councillor, but I am surprised that we're only going for internal. That's all, given the seniority of the post.
Thank you. Tracy, do you want to say?
Yeah, I can just state as per the recruitment process, section 1 of that actually says the Chief Executive will consider with the relevant portfolio holders and Head of People of Communications whether the role should be advertised internally first or internally, externally at the same time. I think it's important to note that the panel and the subcommittee do have the option to appoint or not appoint and then consider whatever next steps that we want to take as a council. There is an expenditure to do with advertising externally, so there are situations where the Chief Exec or the relevant recruitment officer will decide at that time to think about the merits of going internal, external, or internal, then external, if that's required. So I think it's important to note those options are considered and are considered quite robustly from the point of view of what we think is right for the council at that particular time.
Thank you. Do we know how much we are spending? Oh, sorry. Councillor Davidson, please.
Thank you. Just background that I'm sure you're all well aware of. When Dave Barber retired, it did go external. The job role changed, obviously, the description, so it's now strategic director, and that went external. There were huge numbers of applicants, I don't know, it was 40 or something, but we ended up not appointing, and it was a slightly different role, and we can go into that if you would like. But one of the concerns was the local government reorganisation, and in fact the person we offered a post to turned it down on that basis. And I wasn't aware, but Tracy did tell me that quite a few good candidates did withdraw earlier than that stage because of that. So I think that's part of that, given where we are in that's part of the decision. But to me, if as a committee we want to recommend something, we can do.
Thank you. Any speakers? Can I ask how much we are spending in the process of recruitment?
For internal recruitment, we don't spend anything. It's all the process is internally managed, and apart from officer capacity and resources, it's all internally managed. If we were going to external, then it is a considerable amount.
Do we have figures for how much we have spent last time?
It can range anything between £10,000 to £20,000, depending on whether we use headhunter or executive search. So it purely depends on the type of recruitment that we're looking to do. With advertising, an advert in one of the senior magazines can range from anything to £4,000 to £5,000. So
Fantastic.
that's one of the considerations that we do try to take into account with cost.
Yep, good to hear. We are saving money. Yeah. Right. Any other speakers, please? Can I ask a proposer? Are there? Oh, sorry.
Nominations.
Okay. To the subcommittee, we will be having 5 members. 5 members to the subcommittee. From Greens, are there any nominations? Yes, please. Yep. And Labour Group, any nominations, please? Councillor Sinnott, any nominations from Labour Group, please?
I haven't got one at the moment, so I was going to say Councillor Melrose, but I will put Councillor Melrose into the pot, if I may. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lib Dem Group, Councillor Syson.
Myself.
Thank you. And I've got here that Councillor Richard Hales is from Conservatives. Thank you. Can we have a vote to... Do we approve? Do we take votes of?
If I can just make a note for the minutes, just to note that Councillor Richard Howells is attending final interview only. Chair, subject to the confirmation from the Chair of Employment Committee that he approved that it would be okay for him to just attend the final interview. I will liaise with him after shortlisting.
Thank you. So I want this to be minuted, please. Thank you. Can I have a seconder, please, for the nominations? Thank you. Thanks. Okay. A vote of approval, please, for the nominations. We've got Councillor Gorman and also Councillor Davidson from Greens, and Labour, I think you're going to confirm later on. And we've got Councillor Syson, and also we've got Councillor Richard Hales, who would be only attending the final interview. Can we have vote to approve, please? Thank you. We've also got, as a subcommittee, we have got portfolio holders to attend every stage of recruitment process. Can we vote on this, please? Any proposal for this where portfolio holder can attend? Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Syson. A seconder, please. Thank you, Tanguy, Councillor Tanguy. And vote of approval, please. Thank you. Now, this concludes our agenda for today, and thank you for attending, and I declare the meeting closed.